Hi, and welcome to this video introduction to Luke, the linguistic inquiry and word count. The purpose of this video is to make an effort to support researchers who currently do not do quantitative text analysis, say, in the humanities. Specifically, we're giving a video about the linguistic inquiry and word count because it's among the very best software tools for quantitative analysis around, and despite that, there are virtually no YouTube videos that support its use or introduce its functions. So this is sponsored by the Cultural Evolution of Religion Research Consortium at University of British Columbia. There's more documentation and an accompanying blog post about this video over at Discussions and Blog. So let's take a look at Luke. The interface of the Linguistic Inquiry and Word Count 2007, which is the latest version, is very simple. 6 menu items. Under Options, you can see the different word categories that Luke will compile. Here we have punctuation, lots of content categories in number 1, along with some parts of speech. And 2 and 3 are also mostly content categories. It's handy to have this menu item here because when you get the Luke output, it might not be clear what some of those abbreviations refer to. If you'd like to process texts, just go to File, Process Texts, and in this case, we're going to find a set of Baptist sermons that we're analyzing as part of a CERT project. So you'll notice that these are all RTF format. Luke supports RTF as well as other formats. When you begin to process texts, you'll be given an option here about output format. .dat and XLS are among them. .dat would represent importing directly into SPSS, and that can be very helpful if you're going to analyze data, but for our purposes, we will be happy with an output form in XLS. For large files, Luke will take quite a while, but now we're just going to do 31 files here. After processing, Luke will give you its own house window here with the results, but it also drops, in this case, an XLS file to the desktop. So we can open one of these and take a look. Here we have the file name on the left. So here, row 5, a sermon by Michael Davidson, and in this case we've coded the zip code and the title along with the denomination and author. And from B to the end of the sheet, you have Luke categories. Briefly, WC, word count, WPS, words per sentence, 6 letter, the percentage of words that are over 6 letters. The dictionary column refers to the overall capture rate of Luke. So Luke has 4,500 words and word stems, and the goal is to capture about 85% of contemporary English, and you can see it did that quite well here, with perhaps none under that 85% mark, with this coming close. So function words and pronoun words are very, very important to Luke's developers. Jamie Pennebaker at the University of Texas has written a couple of books, one of which is The Secret Life of Pronouns, in which he argues that the pronoun category is very relevant and strongly correlates with certain outcomes in mental health. But moving across the different pronouns, we have other sorts of parts of speech, rates of verbs, auxiliary verbs, etc. Tenses have also become important. For example, there's a Luke study by political psychologists looking at tense in political ads. And they find a strong correlation between a certain tense and negative ads on another tense and positive ads. As we scroll down to the right of the many, many Luke content categories, we see things that might be of interest to you: social, family, friend, and especially here to psychologists, affect, positive emotion, negative emotion, anxiety, anger, and sadness. We at CERC have used the CogMet category in a few special ways that I can explain in an accompanying blog post. And going on down here, if you're interested in religion, there is a religion category. Unfortunately, it's not especially good, having inside it many, many moral terms. but you also have categories like death here in column BO. And a few other things to round it out with some punctuation. You can do a number of things with a data set like this, although here we're only looking at 31 sermons in a single denomination. We have at CERC done a number of other studies with many, many more documents. In this case, we have a database of about 400 sermons across 12 denominations. You can see we've coded in metadata to support this. We've also got metadata about the number of occurrences of certain supernatural agency terms: Jesus, Holy Spirit, God, Lord, etc. We have identified the zip code for geotagging the locations of these sermons, their view, rank, and ratings on the sermon website. And here in yellow are lots of Pew Research Center data about denominational beliefs. So what proportion of your denomination believes in miracles? As you can see, there are pretty sharp differences across the denominations. So this allows for lots and lots of analyses. With Luke, and here you see the Luke data. Here you see the Luke data for all of our sermons. With Luke, you're able to calculate means. That's the principal means of analysis here. You're calculating means, doing things like t-tests across denominations. And those can be paired with other analyses of, say, miracles. Do we see that denominations that have a strong belief in miracles, do those denominations also have a strong belief in hell? Or, say, do those emphasize the role of Jesus rather than the role of the Holy Spirit? Those are some of the research questions that you might be interested in, and if so, Luke is one of the first steps you should take to solving those problems with data. So we'll post accompanying videos later for other software tools if necessary. Otherwise, we will be curating the best of the YouTube offerings about things like AntConc and RapidMiner and so on. Thanks for watching.